back, same place, same day. I was not sure should I do the frog special today or tomorrow, and I decided to do it today. Frog special because the park where I am now, I go mostly because I want to see frogs, and in particular I want to see the wood frog. And I was lucky today, there were wood frogs, not as many as I used to see in this time of the year, but there were a few and they were already starting to call. So this video is an invitation for you to come here tomorrow, Saturday or Sunday, because it's just in a very short period of time where there are hundreds of wood frogs in one little pond. And it's near the entrance, so you don't really have to walk long. You just go to the main building and then to the pond, and there is at the bridge is a little pond, and there they are. There will be hundreds of wood frogs swimming around and mating and calling. You also will hear and not see, and I will explain right now why, hear the Spring Peeper, which is a very loud calling frog, but he's very small. He's like I mentioned before, he's like this. And before I mentioned I was never able to take a photo, and now I'm a little bit enthusiastic because I was able to get even macro shots of this Spring Peeper. I will prepare the photos this night, and publish them maybe later this evening or tomorrow. But what I want to talk about is about the wood frog. The first time I saw them was about 8 years ago. My first time I went to this park, I hear the noise from far away. I get closer and I saw those hundreds of frogs in the ponds making a spectacle, a show. And I took some photos, no video recordings, no sound recordings, and I came back. I just saw one now jumping over there. I came back later. Let me try. I see that when I put here my hand, the light is better. So maybe I move a little bit over here, like this. Technical. Yeah, the sun is exactly on the back of the camera and it puts the screen somehow strange. Anyway, we are about sunset. So the first time I saw them, I took some pictures and I came back. But I never came back in the right time. I came too late, too early. So the last year I decided I want to figure out when exactly the wood frog arrives, because I mentioned it's just a short period of time, a few days, that you can see them in the pond, because afterwards they disappear in the forest, which is just here. I will show you the area, how it looks like, so you can make a picture what I'm talking about. Let me move up here. So here you have the pond and the bridge. I don't show because there are people now there, and then you see the reed along the pond. There's still some snow on the ice. The frogs don't worry if there's still a frozen part on the pond. And then you have on the side, you have the forest where the frogs will disappear once they mated. And when I say, oh, I saw a frog, that's because over there in this little water, here sometimes they're jumping around. And there are the wood frogs because, as I mentioned, the Spring Peeper, the one with the loud sound, cannot be heard very well. I had several questions. The wood frog is quite common here in this area, but I was wondering, were they, like all the animals, how they survive in the winter. And they hibernate below the snow in the leaves, and I was not sure, do they do that at the front of the pond or in the forest itself, covered on the leaves. And one of the things I wanted to figure out right now is when I come here every day, if I may be able to see them coming from the forest into the pond. but I maybe saw one or two getting in from the forest or from wooded areas into the pond, but that could also be that they just left the pond and came back. So I don't really know. I will look into that if they hibernate in the on the water or in the forest. I'm quite sure that's actually happening in the forest, but I have to confirm that. Another question I had is, how do they know when when the hibernation is over and they have to go to mate? And they do that in not one frog one day and the other one the other day. They do all the same time. So there I did some investigation, and there are studies around that look at different signals that trigger end of hibernation. One is temperature. If the temperature is above freezing point, the hibernation starts to stop. The other one is the light, the length of the day, or if they are accumulating enough light during the day, the hormones get triggered which end the hibernation. And also I read that possibility of rain. If they hear and feel the tremor of rain, that wake them out or pull them out from hibernation. I don't know which one or all of three. One we can exclude this year is the rain. There was the ice rainstorm a week ago, but there was definitely no rain yesterday or this week, which could have waken up the frogs. So it may be light, the length of the day, or the temperature, because this week we actually got overnight above freezing point, and today it was actually quite comfortable, warm, like 22 degrees Celsius. So yeah, I think hibernation by temperature is quite clear, but which means now why it's every year exactly about the same day, because we know sometimes the winter ends later or the warm temperatures are earlier. For example, I did this tracking of wood frogs, and the first time I saw it around 10th of April, today is the 13th, so it's always in the early 10th. And it cannot be that it was always exactly this time of the year that it stopped being freezing overnight. So maybe the length of day is also a critical element. Anyway, so it's a spectacle to see so many frogs on one place, and I really would like to invite you to experience this. It's for me as a immigrant here, it was quite an interesting sighting on the first time, and I am happy to be able to come back and see it. So what I want to do now, before I end this stream, I want to let you hear how it sounds here, because it's quite noisy. So I switch off I remove my cable, the headphones and microphone, and I hope that with this you will hear the spring peepers calling. Let me see if that works, and if not, then we have like a minute of silence. I will switch the camera so you get the ambience of this place right now with the sound. I'm back. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you soon. On Saturday I will continue with my spring project, the Spring 2023 in Parc Nature. I wish you a wonderful evening. Hope to see you soon. Bye bye.